Welcome everyone, Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions. Well, as you can see in the headlines here, we have some interviews coming up talking about the year so far with American Legion Baseball. Let's take a look at some of our sponsors. We'll come back with those interviews. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions. With me, head coach for the Viroqua 138ers. It's Peter Swanson. And Peter, thanks so much for taking the time out here. We got a doubleheader coming up tonight, but appreciate you taking some time here to talk a little bit about not only Viroqua Legion baseball, but baseball in general.
Yeah, it's a great day. We had a lot of rain last night, but the field's in good shape, so it's a beautiful day and time to play too.
That's well spoken. Let's talk a little bit about previously yesterday finishing up the 42nd annual Viroqua Legion baseball tournament. Got extended a little bit because of some rain.
Yeah, we were supposed to get it done on Monday, July 4th, got rained out, and fortunately the teams could make it on Tuesday, and we finished last night, so got to thank everybody for helping win the food stand and getting the field ready, and the recreation department did a great job. So we're fortunate to get it in, and it is our 42nd tournament, and pretty exciting.
You know, and talk about pretty exciting. That was an exciting ball game. The championship game at 5 o'clock. You'll see that coming up here, tape delayed shortly, and just a tremendous game there, Peter.
Yeah, this Jack Welch pitched for La Crescent, and we threw Griffin Olson, and it was a pitcher's duel, and they got ahead 1-0 until the 6th, and with one out, Griffin and Olson got a base hit, and Evan Hubat singled, and Casey Kwalchek drove in a run after Griffin stole second and stole third, so he got into a good scoring position. Casey got a hit, and then Noah Matheson hit one off the fence, another run, and Camden Oliver lined one up the middle, and all of a sudden we're up 3-1, and Camden came in the 7th. Griffin ran out of pitches, and Camden shut them out, struck out 3 in the bottom of the 7th. So great win and great game, actually.
You know, there was so many different things going on. We saw, unfortunately, a triple play go against us, but we also saw a pretty neat double play that Griffin Olsen pulled off on the mound.
Yeah, the triple play, we had first and second, and Griffin was up and he hit a line drive about 4 inches off the field, and the third baseman was Zach Benson, made a great play, caught it through the second, through the first, triple play. You don't see many of those. And then La Crescent tried to bunt with a guy on first, and he popped it up, and not too many people would make that catch. But Griffin caught it and gunned to first and nailed the guy there. So it's a good plays both ways.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. I'm so happy to be able to be here to tape that. Well, let's talk a little bit about upcoming regional and state tournament. Tell us a little bit, Coach, about. I know you're on the committee, and you know you're huge when it comes to all this kind of stuff. Tell us how that all comes about, picking the regionals and such.
Well, we get the teams that their roster and their enrollments put them in the class. So once we get them, we put them into 7 different regionals, and once that's set, it's drawing alphabetically who plays who, like the WI used to do it before they did the seeding. So it's just alphabetically determine who plays who.
And then, so you take care of the regional type of things. And I know there was some stuff going on with COVID and that, but thankfully you're going to get the opportunity to host the state tournament this year.
Yeah, we bid on this in 2019, or was it 2018? Anyway, we're supposed to have it for 2020. So now it's 2022, and we've got it, and we're happy to have it, and we hope it's a great weekend for baseball.
You know, the fact that you're going to get teams from teams such as maybe, who knows, Marathon, Waupun, they always seem to be very common, Altoona. You know, you just get some really great organizations that come down here, and there's some fun baseball.
Yeah, I see Denmark won the Division II state tournament this spring again, and we played them in the finals last year, so they got a good chance. They will be here, and Altoona looks strong again, and so we'll see. I don't know what Marathon usually comes out of that one, and I think that's at Tomahawk this year, and we have one at GET, and then we have one here, so it's a good chance that Westby Fenimore will be here. One of those two will be here also. So.
And you never know, Prairie might come out of that GT one.
Yeah, Prairie's got a chance to come out of GT, Mauston, and whoever else, Whitehall, there's the other one up there. So, you never know who comes out of that.
Well, what's it like? Let's go back a year. Up at Denmark, and the kids put together such a great combination of ball games and that, and came away with the state championship. How are they handling the fact that they're the returning state champs and get to host?
I don't think they think a lot about it. We've really loaded up our schedule. We've played about 15 AAA teams, and so we've been, soundly beaten a few games. So we're just trying to get better every day, and they got such a great attitude. They're here early, and they want to do well, and we'll play all of our kids at least one game for a doubleheader. That's always been our policy. So everybody's getting better, and they are. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way they played yesterday in that championship game, I think their hats are on straight and they're ready to get going.
Yeah, they're a good group. They just and our coaches are good. Kelly Olson, Scott Hubach, John Landowski, and then we have Shane Peterson with the 17s. And those guys, they're into it. And well, I guess when you got sons on the team, you probably would be into it. So
that always helps, right?
Yeah, yes, it does.
Well, Peter, I want to say thanks so much. Congratulations for that win yesterday in the championship. A doubleheader coming up here, and that's against who?
We got Wisconsin Dells for 2, and then we got the Onalaska 17s tomorrow night, and then we go to Ely for 4 on the weekend. So,
never a dull moment with this crew.
No, it's exciting. We just got to create a few pictures once in a while. So,
well, you always seem to have a lot of pictures. That's what you need, right?
Yes, it is. And if you work at it, you can develop them. So you just have to work hard at it.
Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate that, and we'll be back with more here in just a little while. Take care. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Westby. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions. With me today, head coach John Hamilton of the Westby Coon Valley Bandits. John, thanks for taking the time out. I know you got a doubleheader coming up here, but a chance to talk some Westby Coon Valley baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to join you and talk some baseball.
You know, we take a look at, let's go back yesterday. Say the Junior Legion, the Westby Coon Valley squad did a nice job picking up a win in their first ever tournament here.
Yeah, you know, we're looking for some extra games. We decided to put together a tournament, and we got a nice facility here. So we had a little 5-team round robin over the weekend, and our boys played really well. They went 4-0 and won the tournament and played some good baseball, so that was exciting to see.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun able to get here for 3 of those 4 games. And when we heard that they won that 1-0 ball game, we were like, well, we got to get down here for that championship game. What we seemed like it would be that anyway. So, well, let's talk a little bit about Senior Legion baseball, John. The season's gone by rather quickly.
Yeah, it has. You know, it flies by. You know, we're 9-4 right now, and had kind of a slower week last week, coming off the Viroqua tournament. But we got a busy week here to end up the regular season. We've got 5 games this week with our doubleheader with Prairie tonight. But that'll be good for us. You know, when you get into regional time, you know, you're playing consecutive games on back-to-back days, sometimes 2 in a day. So I think it's good for us to kind of get some in a good routine and try to get some rhythm.
You know, for a second, could you talk a little bit about how the pitching goes for tournaments such as the regional coming up, and innings they can pitch or pitches they can throw, that kind of thing?
Yeah, you know, it's really not innings anymore. You know, we've moved to the pitch count. You know, so days of rest are based on their pitch count, and you know, there's different tiers all the way up to 4 days of rest if you get over 85. 105 is the max. That any pitcher can throw. But the other thing with the regional is you also have a number of appearances over a certain number of days. So a pitcher only gets, I think is it two appearances over 3 days. So there's a limit to that. So that's even regardless of the pitch count that they have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the regional. Westby gets to host this year.
Yeah, you know, we're excited. You know, we had the state tournament here a few years ago, and that was a great success. And you know, the city of Westby has put in a lot of time and money and stuff, and upgraded our field, so we have a nice facility. You know, and we're excited to bring people in. I think the Junior Legion tournament was a good prep for us to get used to what that's going to be like. Yeah, I think we're ready. We're excited. We've got some great teams coming in. Should be very competitive, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, with Viroqua hosting the state tournament, they're automatically in, but they are in our regional.
Yeah. So, Viroqua is an automatic qualifier, being that they are the state tournament host. So that would mean that if Viroqua finishes in the top 2, the other team that's there with them would also qualify for the state tournament. So, you know, and I'm sure for some that's going to certainly factor in with how you play things. But obviously, you know, I think every team comes in and you want to get into the state tournament by winning your regional, and that's the goal.
Yeah. Now, besides Westby and Viroqua, Fenimore, North Crawford, and the DeSoto Stoddard bunch will be here as well. What do we know about those other 3 teams?
Yeah, you know, we have actually faced all of them either in the summer or the spring, or in many cases both. So we're pretty familiar with them. I mean, they're all local teams, of course, and it's going to be a very competitive regional. I mean, you've got, you know, Fenimore always puts together a nice club. You know, Stoddard, they've got a great tradition for baseball down there. They had a great spring. They've got a lot of those guys playing this summer, so they'll be very competitive. And you've got Gaze Mills, which you have a lot of North Crawford guys, some Kickapoo kids, so they're very competitive, and they've been very competitive and won some big games lately. Yeah, so it should be an exciting tournament, and it's really anybody's ball game. You know, it's baseball. Strange things can happen. So, yeah, we're excited to get it started here.
And it's going to be 2 games on Friday night, the 22nd, if I remember right, and then 4 games on Saturday, a couple more on Sunday, and possibly a game on Monday.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll have 2 games down here on Friday night. You'll have Viroqua and Fenimore opening up in the first game, and then we will actually be playing Stoddard in the nightcap. Yeah, and then Saturday's a full day, and those matchups are all going to be based on winners and losers. And then obviously you get into Sunday. On Saturday we'll have eliminated a couple, 2 or 3 teams. So Sunday, it could end on Sunday. Depending on winners, losers, there could be one game on Monday, just depending on how everything shakes out.
John, we number one, I want to thank you for all that you do when it comes to the Legion. You are a busy guy all the way through yesterday and Saturday. Of course, you were busy getting the field ready, and you put your heart and soul into this.
Yeah, it's just part of what we do. That's what you sign up for, and I love doing it. And the reward is giving the kids an opportunity to play on a nice field and give them a good positive experience, and to be able to host a tournament, like we have coming up. It's well worth the time. It's been something I've done forever, and I love to do it.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck this week with 5 remaining ball games starting tonight here with a doubleheader, and of course the regional coming up next week.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
John Hamilton, head coach here for the Westby Coon Valley Bandits as they get ready for a busy week, and then next week with the regional tournament and hopefully a trip to state down in Viroqua. We'll be back with more here in just a little bit. Come to Westby's Veterans Memorial Field with me, Roger Matheson. And Roger, you are the go-to person when it comes to Legion baseball. Tell us a little bit about your title and everything that you do when it comes to regional and state and all that good jazz, we'll say.
Well, this is my 10th season of serving as the state commissioner for American Legion Baseball for Wisconsin. And right this year we're sitting third in the nation as far as the number of teams we have. We have 214 teams in Wisconsin right now. Puts us behind Minnesota and Nebraska, but far ahead the rest of the field. So my goal for the year was 225. We didn't quite make it, but 214 is too bad, I guess.
Well, that's not bad at all. And you stop and think about last year, the numbers were way down, of course, and the year before things were, dead in the water, so to speak. How many teams did you increase from last year to this year?
We gained 10 teams this year. I was hoping more, but we still had, it's surprising that's still that COVID hangover yet. Losing that 2020 season, and then last year the high school season dragged on so long. A lot of teams were in flux of what they wanted to do, if they wanted to spend the money and if they're to get coaches, stuff like that. So Last year was really kind of in flux. This year, a normal year. But still a little bit of hangover because some communities yet still are not up to full speed yet.
Okay, sure. Well, that's kind of understandable in that. So, well, let's take a look. You go to Portage, I believe, and have your meetings and stuff. How does all that kind of play out when it comes to choosing regionals and state and that kind of stuff?
Well, we have 8 regional directors and assistants. So the state is split up in geographical areas. And then we look at the teams that are in each division. We're the only state that has 5 divisions of Legion baseball, 2 divisions in the juniors and 3 in the varsity. So we try to get things set up so it's equal competition and also geographic for the regionals, so teams don't have to travel too far. We set up our state tournaments 2 years in advance. So this year, of course, Viroqua has the Class A tournament. Sheboygan has the AAA tournament. And that AAA is the division that goes on to compete hopefully in the Legion World Series down Shelby, North Carolina. Okay. And then Fort Atkins has our AA. Now our 17U is in Plover this year, and our 16U is in Lemira.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then of course our 35 regionals are spread throughout the state. So
okay.
just.
And you, so you plan 2 years in advance. Tell us a little bit about the process. I know Westby hosted not that long ago. Was it 18 or 19?
2019.
19, yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we look, teams bid that want to host a tournament. We look at their volunteer base, we look at their hotel space availability, look at the field. So it's got to be something that's going to be acceptable for a good quality competition. We've been very fortunate here. Viroqua's hosted many state tournaments. Coon Valley, we've had it in 2002 and 2007, now 2019 in Westby. And I got to say the Westby community was fantastic. The Westby City Council and all the Westby City workers did a great job upgrading the field, helping us all the way through the tournament, giving us manpower, helping us getting the field watered and manicured, picking up garbage. You couldn't have asked for anything more from the Westby community. They were just fantastic. So
yeah, it was a blast, and being able to tape and broadcast from up here, it was a wonderful experience. Take a look here, something new coming up with not Legion baseball but Legion softball. Tell us about that.
Well, in a few years back, North Carolina started a girls softball program, kind of mimicking what Legion baseball is, and that spread to now Tennessee and Alabama, and so it got me thinking about if they're doing it, we should be able to do it too. But I wanted to make sure we had all our ducks in a row so we do it right. Minnesota is starting this year. We're starting it next year, but we're planning ahead now for 2 years of planning so we get it done right. And I think planning-wise, I think we're ahead of Minnesota. I'm a little bit biased, but I mean, so we're, of course, first year you don't know how many teams are going to be showing up to play. It depends upon, as in baseball, you need that person in the community to take charge. We're looking, it's going to be very reasonable. We're looking at the costs of $185 over what the insurance premiums will be. So it'll be just like in Legion baseball, where you have to carry the insurance. All coaches have to have a background check and a minor abuse training. And that minor abuse training now is federal law for anybody dealing with minor athletes. So that's good, because then you know people are protected, and that's important. So we're looking at probably for a softball team, about $400 pays for the registration and the insurance. Like for Legion baseball now, it's the fallacy that Legion baseball is so expensive. Well, for a senior team like we have tonight here, you're looking at $675 for insurance and the registration. For a junior team, you're looking at $375, $380. So it's very reasonable for a team coverage. And the nice thing is that we have strict recruiting rules. So we try to keep it community-based. Don't want to have these super teams that are drawing kids from all over the state. It's got to be within the local community. And it's a big plus for these schools, especially the small high schools. You can keep your team together all through the summer. Yeah. Build a little bit on that teamwork, camaraderie, and at the same time teaching them to improve all the time. So.
I just think the program, the American Legion program, is just such an outstanding avenue to have fun and continue to grow and get out of the house and get that fresh air in you, right?
Well, I remember I played Legion ball up here in Westby in 1967, 68, and 69. And Westby was the second Legion baseball program in the area. Lacrosse was first, started in 1960. And what I remember is that the guys made sure we always had a game to play. We had guys like Ken Trott, Marvin Lee, Hubby Steenberg, Kinky Arnes, Leon Arnes, Lincoln Stoffslin, Roger Lundy. They always, and Alan Liam, they always made sure that we had something for the kids to do. And they always drove us to all the games, and we played all over the place. We played Sauk Prairie, we played Winona, we played Caledonia. We were traveling quite a bit, Sparta, Toma. But it was a real good experience. Memories I still have today of the fun we had. And guys like Mike Fensel and Chuck Sedevay and all them guys. I mean, it was a great time.
And and yet after all that, you turn around and you do it all over. The same thing, a longtime head coach, not only for the Westby Area School District, but here for the Legion team, and now as the commissioner.
Well, I think I owe that for what them guys did when I was playing. Now it's my turn to give back to the community. And that's one thing I always tell the boys when they graduate and leaving the Legion program. I said, now when you get out in adulthood and get established, it's your turn to give back to the community. Make sure this grows all the time because, like I say, it's an outstanding program. And not only that, it's good scholarship opportunities, but just the fact that the camaraderie you gain, what teaches you as far as growing into adulthood. That's important. And I think sometimes in this world today with split families and everything else going on and all the electronic media, we need that a little bit. So I think it's like the old time way, the old down home way, but it is important. It is.
Well, I know Lori and I certainly appreciate what you and John did. You working with both Chris and Nick especially as a catcher in that. He just tremendous respect for you, Roger, and I know that a lot of people feel the same way when we say thank you so much for all that you keep doing here.
Well, it's fun. I mean, I feel bad because I can't do the on-field coaching anymore. I didn't feel I was able physically to do what I wanted to do anymore. And besides, it's time to turn over to John, and now I'm really involved a lot with state and national, with the American Legion, besides baseball, with the administration of it too. So it gets to be a lot, and in fact, I'm never home. but it is important to give back, and I think it's just an outstanding opportunity for the young men, and hopefully now for the young ladies coming up next year. Yeah. And this year's a special year because our All-Star game is being held in Milwaukee American Family Field in conjunction with the Brewers on August 6th and 7th. The banquet's on the 6th. Our 50th year of doing it. It started in 1972. We're still the only state that has our All-Star game at a major league park. Wow. And we thank the Brewers have been very good to us. Yeah. And I look back at the first meeting in 1972. Dick Hackett was the vice president of the Brewers, and of course Bud Selig was the owner. Ticket prices were $3.25, but it's a lot more than that now. But they're still committed. In fact, when Mark Antonazio bought the Brewers, he asked the staff right away. He said, "What are we doing for youth baseball in Wisconsin?" And the group ticket sales guy said, "I couldn't think real fast. The only thing I could think of was American Legion All-Star Game." Mr. Antonazio said, "Make sure we never lose it." So it's important to them and it's important to us, and I get a kick out of listening to Bob Euchre and Bill Schrader. Bill Schrader made a comment last year during the broadcast. He said one of his highlights of playing baseball was when he got his first American Legion uniform when he played ball in New Jersey. And one year we had an all-star game down there, and Euchre was announcing, and it's one of the games where the Brewers just stunk. And Euchre said, "Get these guys off the field, get the American Legion ball players on, let's have a real ball game," he said. But Euchre has just been great. In fact, this year at our national convention, Euchre is going to get an award. It's the John D. Daly Good Guy Award for what he does for the communities. And he's been great as far as veterans causes. He raises a lot of money for veterans' families and veterans in need. So it couldn't have a more fitting recipient for that award. So
That's great. Roger, I just want to say thanks for all that you do as the league commissioner, and thank you for your service to the country for all those years and everything. You're just such an outstanding person, and love chatting with you all the time. It's always great.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to keep Roger busy. He's probably going to go down here. We got a doubleheader coming up. He's going to be around. You're not going to go out there and work the field now, are you?
No.
Okay, we're done with that. So, but Roger, thanks again, and we look forward to maybe chatting with you during either the regional or the state tournament coming up.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Roger Matheson, the state commissioner here for American Legion Baseball. We'll come back with more here. Let's take a look at our sponsors that are helping bring you today's interviews. Thanks once again.